Cat was a very tired cat, so tired. He worked all year, chasing things, napping on keyboards, looking out windows. It was hard work. So he packed his little cat suitcase, he put in his favorite toy mouse, not a real one, he put in his special sleepy time blanket. He was going on vacation, a big fancy vacation. He dreamed of warm sun, he dreamed of quiet places to sleep. He dreamed of a place with no dogs, no little kids, and absolutely positively no mice. He wanted peace, he wanted quiet, he wanted to nap for a whole week. He arrived at the Sunny Slices resort. Wow, it was amazing. There were big palm trees, they swayed in the breeze. The ocean was super blue. It made sparkly sounds. The air smelled like coconuts and pineapple. It was perfect. Cat found his room. It had a big fluffy bed. It had a tiny refrigerator filled with tiny cans of tuna juice. Cat purred a big rumbly purr. This was the life. He put on his tiny cat-sized sunglasses. He was ready to relax. He was ready for the best nap of his entire 9 lives. Nothing could ruin this. Nothing at all. First stop, the hammock. It was the best hammock at the whole resort. It was strung between 2 perfect palm trees. It had a perfect view of the ocean. It was soft and swingy. Cat imagined himself curled up in a little ball, gently rocking back and forth, snoozing away the afternoon. He walked over, tail held high, ready to claim his spot. He could already feel the gentle sway and the warm sun on his fur. This was the beginning of the best vacation ever. He took a big, happy stretch. His claws came out just a little bit. He was a happy, sleepy cat. But wait, what was that? Something was already in the hammock. It was small, it was gray. It had big ears and a long, skinny tail. It was a mouse, not just any mouse. This mouse was wearing tiny sunglasses, just like Cat's. The mouse was sipping a tiny drink from a tiny coconut shell. The mouse looked very comfortable, too comfortable. Cat's eyes got wide, his fur stood up. His tail went from happy and high to poofy and mad. This was not part of the plan, this was a vacation disaster, a big squeaky cheese-eating disaster. The mouse saw Cat. He wiggled his nose. He took a long, slow sip from his coconut. He did not look scared. He looked smug. Cat marched right up to the hammock. "Ahem," he said in his deepest, most serious cat voice. "Excuse me? That's my napping spot." The mouse, whose name was Mouse, just smiled. "Finders, keepers, fuzzy britches," Mouse squeaked. He then did a little wiggle dance in the hammock, making it swing even more. Cat's ears went flat against his head. Oh, it was on. This was no longer a vacation. This was a war for the best napping spot on the island. The next day, Cat woke up early, super early, before the sun came up. He had a plan. He would get to the pool first. He would get the best lounge chair, the one right by the water, the one with the big shady umbrella. He tiptoed to the pool. It was quiet. It was perfect. He saw the chair. It was empty. Yes, he ran toward it, but just as he was about to leap onto the comfy cushion, splash! A huge wave of water soaked him from head to tail. He looked up. There was Mouse, standing on the diving board holding a big bucket. Mouse giggled. "You snooze, you lose," he chirped. Cat was now a very wet and very grumpy cat. He spent the rest of the morning shaking water out of his ears. He tried to get another chair, but they were all taken. He had to sit on a hot, sandy towel. He watched Mouse float around the pool on a tiny inflatable cheese wedge. Mouse was having a great time. He was doing cannonballs. He was splashing other guests. He was using the water slide as his personal slip-and-slide. Cat just sat there dripping and plodding. This mouse was a menace, a tiny poolside menace. The resort was big enough for both of them, but the best spots were not. The rivalry grew bigger every day. It was a silent battle of glares and stares. When Cat tried to order a fish smoothie at the tiki bar, Mouse would sneak up and change the order to a broccoli juice. When Cat found a perfect sunny spot on the beach to warm his fur, a shadow would suddenly appear. He would look up to see Mouse flying a kite, blocking his sun. Cat tried to get back at him. He put a "Beware of Dog" sign on Mouse's little mouse hole, but Mouse just used it as a welcome mat. This was not the relaxing trip Cat had planned. The fighting got sillier and messier. One afternoon, Cat saw Mouse enjoying a banana by the buffet table. An idea popped into Cat's head. A slippery yellow idea. He waited until Mouse finished his banana. He watched as Mouse tossed the peel onto the ground. This was his chance. Cat waited for Mouse to walk by again. He would kick the peel right into Mouse's path. It would be hilarious. Mouse would slip and slide and maybe fall into a big bowl of Jell-O. Cat wiggled with excitement. He was a genius, a sneaky, sneaky genius, but Mouse was smart. He was very smart. He saw Cat watching him. He saw Cat looking at the banana peel. Mouse pretended he wasn't looking. He walked away, then quickly tiptoed back. He grabbed the peel. Now he had the weapon. Cat's plan had backfired. Now Mouse was the one with the peel. Mouse chased Cat all around the resort. Cat was yelling. Mouse was giggling. They ran through the dining hall. They slid across the polished lobby floor. Guests had to jump out of the way. Whoosh! There went a cat. Whoosh! There went a mouse with a banana peel. The chase was epic. Cat skidded under tables. He leaped over luggage. He dodged waiters carrying big trays of food, but Mouse was fast. He was like a tiny gray ninja. He tossed the peel right in front of Cat. Cat went flying. He slid across the floor right into a huge pyramid of coconuts. Crash! Coconuts rolled everywhere. They bounced down the stairs. They rolled into the pool. They bonked people on the head. The resort manager, a very tall man with a very small mustache, was not happy. He pointed a shaky finger at Cat. "This is chaos!" he yelled. The whole resort was a mess. There were banana peels on the stairs. There were coconuts in the swimming pool. There were tuna juice stains on the curtains. The guests were all hiding in their rooms. The staff didn't know what to do. The manager was pulling his hair out. It was all because of Cat and Mouse. Their little war had turned into a big, island-wide disaster. And through it all, Mouse just seemed to be having more and more fun. He was born for this kind of chaos. Cat, on the other hand, just wanted to go back to his dream of napping. The resort manager had enough. He couldn't handle the coconuts. He couldn't handle the banana peels. He couldn't handle the constant chasing. He packed his bags. "I quit!" he shouted, and he ran away to join a quiet library. The resort had no leader. It was pure madness. But then, something amazing happened. Mouse, seeing his chance, scurried up to the manager's desk. He put on the manager's too big hat. He stood on a big stack of books so everyone could see him. He squeaked into the microphone. "Attention everyone," he announced. "There are new rules." Mouse was a surprisingly good manager. He knew what everyone wanted. He declared that every day was Free Cheese Friday. He replaced all the water in the water coolers with pineapple juice. He made sure every hammock had an extra pillow. He organized pool games where the winner got a giant cookie. The guests loved him. The staff loved him. They cheered for their new, tiny boss. Mouse had turned the chaos into a fun-filled party. He was a natural leader. He waved to the cheering crowds from his big desk, a true king of the resort. And what about Cat? Poor Cat. He had been blamed for all the trouble. He was told he was no longer welcome at the Sunny Slices resort. He was too grumpy. He was too chaotic. He was not a party animal like Mouse. With his shoulders slumped, Cat packed his little suitcase. He had failed. His vacation was ruined. He didn't get to nap. He didn't get any peace. He just got wet and chased and bonked on the head with a coconut. He walked sadly down to the beach, his vacation dreams floating away like a popped balloon. As he stood on the sand, he saw something floating in the water. It was a big, blue, inflatable air mattress. It had probably escaped from the pool during the great coconut explosion. It looked soft. It looked comfortable. It was bobbing gently on the waves, floating out to sea. Cat looked back at the loud, happy resort, now run by his tiny enemy. He looked at the big, quiet ocean. He shrugged. He jumped onto the air mattress. He curled up in a ball. The sun was warm, the waves were gentle, and as he floated away, Cat finally got his nap.